Hi, I'm Richard Maraj, Senior Minister at Unity of Phoenix Spiritual Center, and I want to thank you for visiting our website and for tuning in to today's message. If you feel inspired by today's talk, I really encourage you to make a donation by hitting that button below and making a contribution to this ministry. It'll allow us to continue these messages online and to do the great work we do here at Unity of Phoenix, which is to inspire people to live better lives. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for your support, and we hope to see you at a Sunday real soon.
All right, good morning again, everyone. And shout out to everybody who tunes in and watches us online. Welcome. So how many people ever told somebody in your life about a goal you had, something you were really excited about, and all you got for them was negativity and all the reasons why it wouldn't work and not happen? How many people ever have given up on something that you really wanted because someone poo-pooed it so bad you decided not to do it because of what they said? Anybody? And how many people here have ever had a great achievement in some area of your life and people smiled and congratulated you, but you could tell most of them really weren't that happy for you? Anybody? So I think we all have people in our lives who have rained on our parade, people who have discouraged us instead of encouraging us. You know, whether it's a family member or whether it is a friend, whether it is a coworker, whether it is a neighbor. We all have people in our lives who are a bit of a negative Nelly, who are always criticizing or putting down or judging or throwing cold water on some things that we want to do and achieve. You know, it kind of reminds me of this guy who went to get a haircut before taking a trip to Rome. And so he mentions his trip to the barber, and the barber says, "Rome? Why would anyone go there? It's nasty, and it's crowded. You're never going to have a good time. You're so crazy to go to Rome." And so how are you getting there? "Oh, we're flying United." United? That's a terrible airline. All their planes are old. Their flight attendants are cold and unattractive, and they're always late. "So where are you staying in Rome?" "Oh, we're staying at the Downtown International Marriott." "That dump? That's the worst hotel in the city. The rooms are small, the service is surly, and the prices, they're just way, way overpriced." "So what's you going to do when you're there?" "Well, we're hoping to go to the Vatican and get to see the Pope." "The Pope? Well, that's funny. You and a million other people, he'll be like the size of an ant because you'll be so far. There's no way you're ever going to see him." Good luck on your lousy trip. You're going to need it." So a month later, the guy comes back after his trip to get another haircut, and the barber asked, "How about his trip?" And the guy said, "Well, it was wonderful. You know, in fact, not only was the flight on time, we actually rode in one of their newest planes. The service was spectacular. They were actually overbooked and bumped up into first class. You know, we had a beautiful 20-year-old flight attendant that was fun and enjoyable, waited us on hand and foot. The wine was good. The food was good. You know, that hotel was amazing. They just finished a $25 million upgrade, and it was incredible. They were overbooked. We ended up going to a presidential suite and no extra charge. It was an incredible experience." And I said, "Well, I'm sure you didn't get to see the Pope." And the guy said, "Actually, we were really lucky. As we toured the Vatican, one of the Swiss guards tapped us on the shoulder and said, 'The Pope would like to see me personally.'" And so the guard put me into this private room, and then 5 minutes later, the Pope walks in, and he looks right at me and shakes my hand. I was so honored. I knelt on one knee, and then he bent down and whispered a few words in my ears. "Really?" asked the barber. "Really? What'd he say?" He said, "Where'd you get that lousy haircut?" So, so today, the message is on "Don't Rain on My Parade." So we are in the fourth of our 5-week series of Songs of Life, the Broadway edition. And, you know, every one of us probably has a song or maybe several songs that have meaning to us, maybe got us through a difficult time, or maybe a song of when we fell in love in our relationship, and it reminds us about that. We have songs that touch us and uplift us. And really, I think their songs not only touch us deeply, but they give us messages to give us strength and to go on and to open our hearts and our minds to live more fully. And so that's what we're doing with our Songs of Life series. And these songs are all chosen by Craig from wonderful Broadway musicals. And I find they're all rich and very deep. in their message, in the character of what's going on in the whole play and in their lives. So today we're looking at a song from the 1964 Broadway musical, Funny Girl. The stage production starred Barbra Streisand, as well as the movie version was Barbra Streisand. And it's about this couple, Fanny Brice and Nikki Arnstein, and their relationship. And when this particular song is sung, she is thinking about leaving the show that she was in to go and be with Nikki, and her colleagues are dissuading her, saying, "You're being really foolish. That's not a smart thing. That's not going to work. It's not good for that you leave the show." They're saying all these things, and she's feeling like they're trying to rain on her happiness. They're trying to rain on what she really wants to do. And I think this song has some powerful lessons for us of how to live our lives fully, and particularly, how do we handle the negative stuff when people rain on our parade, when people, want to pour cold water or are negative about the things we want to do in our lives. So we're going to use some of the words to see what great lesson this song can teach us about living more fully. And so she says, "Don't tell me not to live. Don't tell me not to fly. I've simply got to." And the thing I love, when I actually watched her sing it from the movie. I took the little clip from the movie and watched her sing it. And what I was impressed with was, man, was she confident? And she was clear. And she had a strength and totally believed in herself and the life that she was supposed to live. When she got the "don't tell me not to live, don't tell me not to fly, I've got to, I've simply got to." She expressed a quality that I believe is a vital quality in terms of success that we don't always think about. And when I saw her, I thought, that woman is bold. That in life, if you want to be successful, you've got to be bold. You want to achieve great things, you've got to be bold. You want to love in a bigger way, you've got to be bold. You want to have your dreams come true, you have got to be bold. You want to move forward with your life and let go of the past, you've got to be bold. William Murray, many years ago, said, "Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it." And I believe that life is calling us all to be bold. How many people believe that for you to do great things and be successful and live a great life, you got to be bold? Anybody? And the thing about her that I love is her boldness is born in clarity. She said, I've simply got to do this. She was clear about who she was, clear about the life that she wanted to live. No hesitation, no doubt, no questioning, no tentativeness, not being cautious in any way. She felt compelled. She felt like she was meant to do it. She was born to do this, to share and express this amazing and wonderful thing. And my question is, what are you born to do that you haven't given yourself permission to do? What are you here to share and express? What difference have you made that you have not given yourself the permission? And where in your life are you being called to be more bold? Where are you being called in your life to express more confidence in who you are and what you came here to do? I'll tell you, one of the things that stop most human beings from maximizing their potential and living a great life is because we don't always know what we want. We are uncertain, we're ambiguous, we're wishy-washy with many of the things we want in our life. And one thing I loved about her, she was bold because she was clear. How clear are you about what you want in your life? How clear are you about what the next step or the next level of your life actually looked like? See, before you can be bold, you got to know what you want to be bold about. Before anybody could rain on your parade, you got to know, what parade do I want? I love when she said, "I've simply got to." What is your simply got to? What is the thing that your soul is yearning for you to express and create more of in your life? Where is life calling you? And are you willing to boldly express that thing? And the fact is, if you don't know it, it's already in you. It was planted in you the day you were born. The question is, are you being bold enough to listen? Are you being bold enough to trust what your soul is saying to you and to be able to express it? So the first thing I learned in this song is you got to have clarity and you got to be willing to be bold. The second thing, and then it goes on to say, if someone takes a spill, it's me, not you. Whether I'm a rose of sheer perfection or a freckle on the nose of life's complexion. I love that line. I got to fly once, I got to try once, only can die once. And I love this because what she's saying here, it's me, it's up to me. Whether I end up as a rose or a freckle on a nose, I'm the one that makes a choice. This song is about taking charge of your life, taking ownership and accepting full responsibility no matter what the outcome is. The whether rose or the freckle on the nose thing, it is like when you take responsibility, you are willing to accept it all. And sometimes it's scary to accept full responsibility for our lives. Because a part of us is like, what if I mess up? What if I make a mistake? We would rather have excuses, and we'd rather have somebody to blame or some scapegoat to explain. But I'll tell you, it takes boldness to accept full responsibility for your life. And the question is, are you willing to be more bold and take full responsibility for your life, to take full ownership? Or maybe the other question to ask is, what area in your life are you not taking full ownership for? What area in your life are you not taking charge of? What area in your life are you not accepting full responsibility? And to know, regardless of the outcome, this is something that is up to me. It's me that has the control. So, I have some lofty goals that I set. I don't often tell anybody about them. And so I've been visiting them recently and then looking at myself and realizing there's some areas in my life I haven't taken full ownership, haven't taken full charge or full responsibility for. I've been looking at these things and asking myself, that where am I in relation to my current consciousness to be the consciousness of someone who would be that level of success? And the fact is, every one of us needs to look at our lives and say, am I really showing up at the level of consciousness that I would need to be to vibrate with that same vibration of that level of success or greatness or leadership or love or whatever it is? And the fact is, every one of us needs to be bold enough to take charge, to be bold enough to accept full responsibility, and to be bold enough to own ourselves and what we do, how we spend our time, how we focus. Are we, as committed as we really want to be to live this life we say we all want to live? Because if it is to be, it is up to me. And that we need to be able to take charge and full responsibility. Somebody once said you can have anything in your life, but first you must become it in consciousness. First, you must raise your level of consciousness to that level and vibration of the thing that you are seeking. So when we are clear about what we want and we're willing to be bold and accept ownership and full responsibility, that gives us the strength, then, I believe, to handle what I think is the second most challenging thing of why people don't fulfill their lives, and that is to deal with what other people think and what people say and how people might discourage or judge or criticize us. Because when that happens, as great as our goal might be, sometimes we second guess ourselves. Sometimes we doubt ourselves and think, well, maybe I didn't want that after all. Because we get scared by what other people might say. We back off. We end up settling for less and even give up on our dreams. The phrase, rain on my parade, is to spoil someone's fun. It is to kind of throw cold water on their plans or their dreams, to put them down or condemn them, or dismiss them as insignificant or trivial. And we've all experienced that. But I will tell you today, I think to rain on parade has gotten even worse. That we live in a culture that, I don't know, because of social media or what it is, where there are haters. There are people just putting out negativity, predicting failure, affirming, negativity and suffering and pain. There's a word. Anybody know German? Unfortunately, one person does, so when I butcher this word, one will know, but at least 99% won't. But the word is Schadenfreude, and what it means is taking pleasure at the misfortune of others. That sometimes that people secretly are happy when we fail, or maybe not so secretly sometimes. But we even have phrases in our culture, that dirty so-and-so will get what he deserves. You'll get yours. That'll teach him. God will get you for it. We got all those little phrases, and they're elements of the same thing. Some idea that I'll feel happier if someone else fails. That if they fail, I'll feel better about myself. And it is an unfortunate and unhealthy thing that we've got in our culture. And let me tell you where it's the worst is in our political system. Each of our parties in this great democracy, all they want to do is the other one to fail. It don't matter what a Democrat does or a Republican wants to fail. It don't matter what a Republican does, the Democrat, it just goes back and forth. When's the last time you heard a Democrat say, that Republican bill was fantastic, probably the best thing we have ever done? Nobody would even let themselves do that. is because you seem like you're disloyal. Well, what we're disloyal to is the truth and the highest and best in ourselves and for our community. This is not a healthy thing. Remember when Jesus said, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do? It is because we are hurting ourselves, one another, our relationships, our community, and our world by believing in this type of idea. To wish someone negative shows a consciousness of fear and lack as in total opposition of God's law of divine love and God's law of trying to create heaven on earth for everyone. Charles Fillmore said something really powerful. He said, the level of your prosperity and your peace of mind, your happiness and success is directly related to the quality of thoughts you send out to other people. Because we are all one. What we send out to others always comes back to us. You cannot say that boss will, that dirty so-and-so should get what he deserves, and God give me peace and love and happiness and all things good. It doesn't work that way. It does not and cannot work that way. That's why forgive them for they know not what we do, because that's what we're doing to ourselves. When we send out negativity and desires for failure and suffering of others, we are literally calling it forth for ourselves, but we're increasing it in our world around us. So how do we handle naysayers? How do we handle haters? How do we handle people who want to rain on our parade? First one is what my mom told me when I was in my early 20s. She said, Richard, you got to guard your mental house. She knew that the game of life is played right here, and that it is my job, it's everyone's job, to guard your mental house, to make sure you are conscious of what you let in and conscious of what you express out. You see, just because someone says something negative doesn't mean you got to believe it. Just because they lay down something doesn't mean you got to pick it up. Just because they tell it don't mean you have to accept it. Just because they're trying to sell it doesn't mean you need to buy it. Just because they say it doesn't mean you need to okay it. You need to guard your mental house. That we're all responsible for what negativity we let in. And just because someone is saying negative things to us does not have to be a part of our belief system or our lives. That we don't need to take it personally, and we don't need to accept those things. We always have a choice. No matter who's trying to rain on our parade, we don't have to let it impact us. I love the word choice, C-H-O-I-C-E. And I love the three middle letters, O-I-C. Oh, I see that I don't have to let their words impact me. Oh, I see I don't have to be influenced by them. Oh, I see that I don't have to become what other people say. That every single one of us has a responsibility to guard your mental house and not let any negativity, not buy in to whatever people might say that might be harmful, to not need to second guess ourselves because someone doubts us. And then the second part of guarding your mental house is I always think it's good to turn what someone says into a little motivation. Someone says, man, you can't do this. I just say to my eyes, oh yes, I will prove you otherwise, my friend. And it's not to be cocky and go back and say, I told you so. It is for me inside to utilize it, to lift myself to a higher level of consciousness, to a higher level of excellence and quality in how I know I can live and show up in my life. You know, the third aspect of our life, because you know what? The reason we need to guard our mental house, because with energy, you can do two things. You can dissipate it or direct it. You dissipate energy when you keep swirling negativity in your head, and you direct creative energy when you're focused and clear. And so here, my mom introduced me to this scripture that, as a young kid, became one of my favorites. And Craig mentioned it to me this week, so it was really, really quite cool. Philippians 4, verse 8. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence and if there is anything worthy of praise, these are the things to think upon. We are the quality of our thoughts, and so it is being called to us to think thoughts that are honorable, that are pure, that are commendable, that are praiseworthy, that are excellent. These are the things we should be feeding our minds with. Not dwelling on the negativity, but what are the positive things you want? The things that reflect the person you came to be, the life you want to live, These are the things to think upon. When we guard our mental house, we will not be impacted by anyone trying to rain in our parade. We got a built-in consciousness umbrella that will always protect us, but we need to guard our own mental house. Second thing is that we need to forgive and bless anybody who rains on our parade. And to be able to bless and send out good blessings, first you might need to clean up a little inside that might be hurt and upset, because we can get hurt and upset when people say negative things about why we might fail or why things might not work. And the scripture from Psalm 51 says this: "Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me." Because sometimes when we get hurt, things get clogged up in here. We get hurt, our heart closes, but we need to have a clean heart. And sometimes a simple prayer of asking God, "Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit in me." Create a clean heart in me, O Lord. Let's say that together. Create a clean heart in me, O Lord. Deep breath. And let go of whatever thing you might be holding towards anyone. Again, create in me a clean heart, O Lord. Deep breath. And renew a right spirit in me. Together. And renew a right spirit in me. The only way we can send love is to make sure that we're clean in here, to allow ourselves to be a channel for that love. And then the other one is we need to be able to send blessings to them. Instead of wishing they'll fail, let's wish they'll succeed. Let's wish they'll be happy. Let's wish they'll be prosperous. That whoever it is in your life that's rain on your parade, that's the best thing you could do. Wish them a happy parade. Wish them a good life. Wish them peace and joy and success. I guarantee you, it'll not only bring more peace in you, but it'll open the door to transform that relationship. But even more, it'll bring more good and joy into the world. Let me ask you this question honestly. Have you ever, at any point, felt a little jealous about other people's success or their wealth or their family or their loving relationship? Anybody ever felt a little jealous of someone else? You know? And to me, I think two of the things that create a prosperous life, there are really a lot more I teach in the class, but I don't have enough time to go there. So we'll just call them two. The first one is, how happy are you right now? How joyful are you with who you are, what you've got, and not waiting for that next thing to make you happy? That's a sign of prosperity. How joyful and happy are you enjoying your life right now? The second one is, how happy and joyful are you for other people's success? Because if you aren't happy for other people's success, it's a sign that you have a consciousness of lack and limitation. Do you think because someone succeeds, I lose? You believe that there's not enough in the world, so if they get, then I clearly must be losing. And that's just not true. One of the greatest signs of a successful, prosperous life is wishing and blessing and encouraging other people's happiness and success. I guarantee you that will bring you more joy and fulfillment and create a flow of more good in all areas of your life. The final one is to, no matter how anybody treats you, love them anyway. Jesus said, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you, and to love them anyway, no matter what they give. No matter how much anybody rains on your parade, have a great life anyway. And here are the words of Mother Teresa that capture the message I'm trying to make today. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. You may spend years building. Someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world your best anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it was between you and God, and it was never between you and them anyway. Love them anyway. Live a great life anyway. And be bold like Fanny Bryce. One thing I loved about her, she loved life. She loved life. She would say, life is so juicy, I want a big bite of it. She would just talk about, I want to live and I want to live now. I want what I want and I know how. It was just, her joy for life was so good. And so she wanted to live that life boldly. So the lesson from this song is simple. Love your life. Love it so much that you're willing to boldly be clear about what you're here to do, that you are boldly willing to accept and take full responsibility and ownership of your life, that you are boldly willing to guard your mental house, that you're boldly willing to forgive and bless others, and you are boldly willing to live a great life anyway. Let us all make a commitment to be bold and make sure that no one rains on our parade. God bless you.